McLaren unsurprisingly believes it has improved on its championship-winning 2024 car with this 2025 design. According to Stella, pretty much every fundamental component of the layout has been subject to some innovation, whether that's for a direct marginal performance gain or to open up more opportunities elsewhere for fruitful development. That's almost everything from the front wing to the rear crash structure that's been developed, sometimes incrementally, sometimes quite substantially. In fact, Norris half joked that the teams pushed the boundaries so much he was pleased everything ran normally in the shakedown, as you're always a little nervous things aren't going to be perfect when you try them. So let's get into the details of what we've been able to glean beyond the camouflage, where McLaren's desire to be aggressive with its changes has been focused, and its plans to develop this car as much as possible early on. McLaren's usually one of F1's most secretive teams before testing. Last year it dropped its livery early but kept the car under wraps, then shared images in which it obscured certain sensitive parts of the design. And in previous years, it's even gone to the trouble of photoshopping out parts of the car in pictures of it running on track. The careful curation of the deliberately distant images McLaren has shared, combined with the camouflage livery doing a decent job, inevitably limits what can be seen of the MCL39. But the fact this is the real car, shaken down on the day by both drivers, is a massive help. And suspension layout tweaks are harder to disguise than shadowy bodywork areas, even at a distance. We can see that McLaren has adjusted both the front and rear suspension layout in key ways. In fact, our very own ex-F1 technical director Gary Anderson was particularly interested in this area, describing McLaren as having gone to town on the front and rear suspension geometry. The front suspension's upper wishbone has a lower rearward inboard mounting point, which should give the car more anti-dive, stopping the front of the car from diving towards the ground under braking. At the rear, the detail is more difficult to see, but there are signs of more platform control there too, to prevent the rear moving too much under load. It looks like the upper wishbone's forward leg inboard pickup point is mounted to the transmission much lower. The changes we've identified at the front and rear are mitigated slightly by other suspension elements being lowered too, but the intent is obvious. It's all done in the interest of controlling the aerodynamic platform as much as possible. The more stable the car is under loads, accelerating, braking or running at high speed, the steadier the airflow and the more consistent the car will perform aerodynamically. It's what Red Bull mastered early in this rule set and other teams have gradually picked up on. McLaren already went further in this direction last year and appears to have prioritised more gains over the winter, which makes a lot of sense. It made good aerodynamic improvements through 2024, but bigger mechanical changes like this take more time and are easier to enact in the off-season, especially in F1's cost cap era. Stella says that McLaren went for a relatively challenging approach in terms of how much innovation is in this car, with the suspension changes really serving the car's aerodynamic potential.